Hi, all right. Everything all right? Virtual meeting. Virtual meeting. Uh,
Well, good afternoon, everyone. So we're live, and we're here for our Let's Talk at a new time. It's 6:30 p.m. and we're here to talk all things AGM. So we want to thank all of the committee members, all the directors that are joining us this afternoon. We have representatives from the credit committee, the supervisory committee led by the chairman, Mr. Kyle. Are you? So, and we just want to tell everyone thank you for joining us. Of course, the secretary of the TTFSCU is here,
oh, I need
the
to mute from.
director and the director and the chairman of a director, sorry, and the chairman of the events committee is also here present. We want to just start, and we're going to ask Ms. Nicholson Charles to lead us in the credit union prayer.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. And where there's sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that you receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so again, welcome to all our members that are now on the live looking at us via YouTube. We want to thank all our members for participating. And today is going to be good afternoon, President. Welcome. So today we're going to be talking all things AGM, but before we get into that, we actually have representatives from CUNA Caribbean. We have Miss Jonelle, who is a CUNA, Jonelle Williams and Vanessa Marquez, who are CUNA representatives. And they're going to be talking to us about an exciting new offering, which is the Advanced Protector. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Jonelle and Vanessa.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for accommodating us this evening. So yes, I'm here to share some information on the Advanced Protector, which is a new product. I understand that the members of fire service have been requesting a product such as this, and I'm happy to say that Fire would have partnered with us at CUNA Caribbean Insurance to be able to provide the membership with this product, right? So I'm just going to get some information on it. Let me share my screen. Yes. Yes. So everyone could see my screen, right? Yeah? Okay, great. So just some information on the Advanced Protector. Right. This product actually allows the credit union to be able to give you more coverage on your loans. So I know some members would have been reaching out for like mortgage loans or so, right? We're happy to say that now you're able to get coverage on your mortgage loans, you're able to get coverage on high extent loans and so on, right? what is exactly the Advanced Protector? It's a credit life insurance product offered by us at Kuna to fire service credit unions. So as members of the credit union, this product is now available to you. How it works is that it pays off the loan balance of the insured person or the joint insured borrower up to the policy maximum. And what is the policy maximum? At this present moment, policy maximum for members, we're actually covering up to 1 million in loans. Right? So the Advanced Protector, the product, it gives you insurance coverage on personal loans, mortgage loans, automobile loans, and personal credit lines. The premium is added to your monthly loan and payment, monthly loan payment of the insured member. The monthly premiums are based on the loan amount being insured and the premium rate being charged for coverage. Right? There are two instances where this product will apply, and how it benefits you, the member, is that if it is your insured person, sole loan, right? So it's just you on the loan. It applies if it is you become totally or permanently disabled, right? The second instance is in cases where there's a joint loan, right? It allows for if you or the joint person, if either party should pass away, the product will kick in and therefore the loan will be paid off to the maximum. So quick example, let's remember the maximum is 1 million. Let's say your loan is 800,000 your loan is for, right? If either party should pass away, you have this Advanced Protector product, you have the coverage for it, therefore the loan will kick in and the loan will be paid off up to that 800,000 figure, right? According to the first instance there, for the sole party, if it's a sole loan, right, if the person becomes totally or permanent disabled, once they meet the criteria, the loan will be paid up to the maximum, right? And that's basically how the product works. Benefits of the product, again, it allows for single and joint insurance coverage. There's no medical required. There's coverage for the insured if they become totally and permanently disabled, or instances where there's a joint party, right? If either party should pass away, again, there's coverage for both and the Advanced Protector will kick in, right? It's coverage on the personal loans, auto loans, mortgages, and personal credit lines. One feature that is actually incorporated in this product as well, this one is optional, but the benefit is great. I'm sure that a lot of the members, when you apply for this product, you're going to want to have this rider attached to it, right? It comes, again, it's optional, right? You could apply to have this one so that if it is that you have the product, if it is that you suffer some temporary disability, this will actually kick in where Kuna Caribbean Insurance, we will pay a monthly installments for you up to a maximum period of 2 years for a maximum amount of 10,000 every month, right? So this one is optional if it is you want to have it. When you apply for the Advanced Protector, you can have this as a rider. So in the event that there's some kind of temporary disability, you know your loan installments will be taken care of by us at Kuna Caribbean Insurance. Right, all that is required for this plan, basically, you complete the enrollment form, you submit valid KYC documents to us, such as your ID, if it is joint person, that person's ID as well, proof of address for both parties, if where there's a birth certificate or marriage certificate, whichever one is applicable there, and a copy of the loan agreement form, right? That's all that's basically required with this product, and that's about it. So again, like I said, I know there was a demand. A lot of persons were inquiring about coverage on loans, especially for some instances. I know there was a demand for loans for persons over the age of 70. We're happy to say this product actually allows you're able to get coverage on the loans up to the age of 75. Right? And for persons interested in mortgage loans as well, you're now able to get that coverage at Fire Service Credit Union. So of course you can visit the credit union for more information. And I don't know if anyone right now have any questions for me on the product. We can just take a few questions before they go into all things AGM.
Okay, so I'm gonna say good afternoon to our members, and we're asking members now, do you have any questions for us? I know that I'm seeing the good afternoons and the good evenings and blessed evenings to our members as well. But we're asking members, this is an opportunity now to ask any questions that you may have. Okay, so we have a comment that
Yeah.
from Leah, and she says, great product. So,
Yes. Okay. I'm happy to see that you think it's a great product. It is a great product, and like I say, it's a really something that is going to be able to. I see someone. Yeah, to be able to afford the members, so that I know a lot of persons are interested in purchasing homes, that kind of thing. Maybe a high-end vehicle. Maybe it is you want to do some renovation, whatever the case might be. You want to take that loan. Now you're able to be able to access that loan and get the coverage right there at the credit union, right? For persons over the age of 70, there's an issue there before. We're happy to say this product is going to incorporate all of that. So yes, you can have that loan. For more information, again, you can visit the credit union. You can reach out to us at Kuna Caribbean as well. We're happy to assist.
I have a question from Siobhan. She's asking, good afternoon all, just tuning in. What is the monthly installment for that product inclusive of the rider?
Inclusive of the rider. Okay, so that one I'm going to have to go through to you because it's really based on the loan amount, right? The rate on the product is 63 cents for every $1,000 on the value of the loan, right? So Siobhan, if you like, you can reach out to me after, and you can, if it is you're interested in having something done, I can give you a quote, right? I can give my number. So anyone online right now, you can take my number and you can reach out to me. It's 492-9309. Right, I'll be happy to go through with you and assist you in getting a quote or so.
Okay, so we're asking members, do you have any other questions for the lovely Jonelle Williams here this afternoon? She's here, she has all her stuff up, so if you need to ask any questions, now is your time. Any questions, members? It may come up a little later, Janelle, because
Sure, no problem.
a lag, a 20-second lag, just to let you know.
No problem. Yeah.
YouTube. So it may come up in a little while. Members, before we move on? No? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask our president and chairman, Mr. Garth Jacob, to make and say any comments that he may have with regards to all things AGM.
Good afternoon. I'm getting some calls, Anika, some persons trying to get some questions on there, and some of them have to deal with retirement.
Okay.
I am now texting back one of them to ask them to put the question on the forum so that everybody could benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but more than that, yes, Mr. Williams asked the question on the forum, and we will have a exponential answer to give to you on that. Good evening and welcome again. Welcome, Ms. Williams. I really like that presentation. You nearly forced me to take a mortgage loan there just to see how good that product would work. Yes, members, on Saturday coming, we would be having our annual general meeting to deal with the year 2020. As far as I'm aware, everything is in place just for us to show up on the date. I want to impress on you that it's a totally virtual interaction, barring the members who would be presenting their reports and stuff like that. The credit union thought it fitting to ensure that we took care of your safety in this aspect. And this is the method that we would have to employ going forward. I hope that everyone have registered and is ready. I think the brochure, they're available physically. I have one here, and I know it's available online. Is it, Anika?
It is available online.
Right,
And
it is available online. I ask that in the interest of time on Saturday that you really take some time and go through the document and have your questions ready, because we are trying to really keep the business meeting tight. So the AGM should run between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the most. And I'm hoping that that would be sufficient to answer your questions. Some of the questions that we would have gotten beforehand, I think we would have answered them and they would go up on the site. I think after this Let's Talk, Anika, the answered questions would go up. So you
Yeah.
can go on. If you did ask a question, it would be answered there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to ask I'm going to ask the chairman, Mr. Horace Leach of the Events Committee, to speak about any AGM business. Mr. Leach?
Pleasant good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Right. As the president has mentioned, the AGM will be totally virtual on Saturday the 29th. So far, 1,250 members are registered, and we are still expecting to get some more between now and that time. We are urging you all to see about when you are, as you already registered, you have to log in and try to log in as early as possible, because time is of the essence. As the chairman or president has mentioned, we would be in some problem if we are looking at going over 3 hours. The cooperative division is very strict with the time, and we should not go over 3 hours, keeping in line with the safety of the members. Tokens would be given to members only who log in to the meeting and spend some time with the meeting.
Excuse me, Mr. Leach.
Yes.
Can you just shift your camera so we can see you? We're seeing part of you. Yeah, there we go. We see all of you now.
I wasn't sorry. I wasn't hiding. It was like I wasn't hiding. Yes. So I don't know if there's any question any member will want to ask. So the secretary, the president, or myself will be able to answer anything as it relates to AGM.
We do have a question from Siobhan, and she's asking, when are we getting the voting links?
Right, the voting links would be sent to you for use on Saturday. I think the link that you registered on, and Sharon helped me here, if the one that you would access the meeting would also take you to that link that you would have to use on Saturday.
Yes, Mr. Chair. When persons log in on the day, everything that you would need to do would be right there on your screen once you sign in with the credential. So you wouldn't need to go anywhere else to vote for the resolutions or the adoption of reports and stuff like that. Everything would be right there. So you wouldn't need to switch or anything. What we are asking persons is that if there are more than one person's viewing on your device, to open separate browsers for them with their credentials. So when they have to vote, you just do yours, switch to the other browser that they could do their own. That's the persons who's sharing devices. All right, other than that, Geraldine, I'm correct, right? So other than that, you would not need to be moving from screen to screen to treat with voting for resolutions, voting for election process, spoiling your link, and stuff like that. So we want to try and make it as easy and as seamless for members as possible to encourage all aspects or all geographic age to ensure that they are comfortable with the process and everybody is afforded the opportunity to exercise their right and be part of the proceedings.
So at this point in time, I would like to open up the question and answers segment of today, where we discuss any questions and answer questions that you may have, members, for the Board of Directors and the Board of Director report. What I can do as well is I can actually bring up the report on this feed so everyone can see. So members, do you have any questions with regards to the Board of Directors report? We're asking. If you have any questions at this point in time, to please let us know. I'm going to go straight, and everyone, all members, you can go to ttfscu.com and you can get the Board of Directors and the entire report, which has been online for a few weeks now, for you to be able to browse. This is the forum that you may have any questions before the AGM, that you can ask these questions, which will then, of course, allow for the time to be more concise at the actual AGM. So we're asking if anyone has any questions with regards to the Board of Directors report. Okay, so we have a couple of questions. What time login will start on Saturday? And this is from Aaron John.
I think we are starting at 12.
12 noon. 12 noon, yes.
12 noon.
Okay. And so I guess, Vina, the same question, which is what time is the AGM commencing, would be at 12 noon as just
No, 1 p.m.
1 p.m. 1 p.m.
Yes. But logging in from 12.
Because of the amount and the volume that we anticipate, we want people to be in the forum and not trying to get in at 1.
Okay.
So they can start to log on at 12 noon. So I am certain by 1 p.m. we may have the majority to begin.
Okay. We have a question, and the question is, please explain the email sent about requesting our dividends via bank transfer. To my understanding, we have to make those requests before the 28th.
Right, is Jalen on, or Sharon, you taking that?
Hi, yes, I'm on.
Right, so you would answer this for me. I think you're
Certainly.
a bit more.
And before you do, I just want to share with the membership, we're now chatting with Mrs. Geraldine Moore Hodges. She's our newly appointed operations manager. So we want to formally welcome you. She's of course, in the AGM brochure, so you should be aware of what she looks like because she's on the brochure that's online. Thank you, Geraldine.
Hi, good night all. Thank you for the welcome. The email that we sent was to assist members with pre-applying for your dividends in advance of the AGM. Yes, we may not know the balance or the amount of dividend that it's going to be disbursed, but this pre-application is to try to reduce the rush or also to avoid members coming in and there's an excessive crowd. So from the comfort of your home, you can either download the ACH form that's on our website, submit it via email to us with a copy of your ID, or you can download our app or log in via online banking as well and just send a request with your banking information. So the credit union has taken the initiative to use technology now for ease of business to you, our members, to ensure that from the safety of your homes, you can access your funds.
Okay, thank you. Again, Randolph is asking, will the link be available to log in at 12? I believe we answered that question a little earlier. So yes, the link will be available to log in at 12. I have another question. My question is not about a report, but I would like to know if there will be a facility in place soon so that we can transfer money from our bank accounts to the credit union.
Yes, certainly. We are working on that as we speak. I think Mr. Leach is heading those arrangements, and I think we are almost there, Mr. Leach. We are almost there
Almost
with
there.
having that done. So in
That
short
should be, and
order, that should
that
be
should be
one of the
within a week.
features
Within a week
that we
again, that
would
should
be
be there.
able to offer to our members.
Okay, and we have Mikhail that made a comment, and his comment is, I got to register, not getting through with my wife and 3 children that are members.
I answer, Anika.
Yes.
Just for the members' information, once you register with an email, the system would not recognize you to register with the same email for somebody else. So what you have to do is create emails for those members of your family and register them. The deadline is midnight tonight. So you could create the emails. It's very straightforward in terms of just fulfilling the information and then doing the registration process for the members of your family. All right, any problems you have, we have a note of your name. So if there's any problem, let us know in the morning and we'll take you through the steps in terms of how to get it done with as less discomfort as possible.
Okay, so I have Siobhan with regards to the question before Geraldine. She's asking, you're asking me to place how much I want to be transferred in the message. So I don't know how much it will be. How can I place it there?
Okay, hi, Siobhan. At this time, we do not know the value of the dividend, so you can leave that area blank. You can just indicate, I, Siobhan, would like to transfer my dividends to my FCB account number. It's a savings account in Marabella, and we would accept that request. When we do disburse the dividend, we will indicate the amount, and you can also log on to view that amount after the AGM as well. Currently, members are also using this option to transfer funds from their current FSA that has funds in it, so you can indicate this value. So this process now can be used to access all of your funds on your FSA or your dividend to transfer to your bank account in the future. So it's not just for this occasion. So after dividends, you can also transfer funds from your FSA, indicating the amount and the other relevant information to your bank account.
And I have
just now before I had a question, a member was trying to get through and he sent his question to me. He's asking, what facilities does the credit union have in place to treat with those retired members or those members who are retired and have not gotten their benefits and who have fallen on hard times? So that's the question. I don't know if Mr. Chair would like to take that.
Yes, I will, but I think Mr. Philip is on as well here. Is he there?
Yes, he is.
Yes, we used to have a facility which was called the Retirees Loan. Because of 1 and 2 problems with it, we had to put a stop to the facility. But yes, on an individual basis, you can come in and we would treat with your issues to deal with this particular situation. There's no established product for it, but through the counseling committee and some other measures we have in place, we would deal with each member on an individual basis to treat with their circumstances until they in receipt of the pension. Mr. Philip, you want to help me out here further?
Yeah, right, Philip. What we are indicating to these members before the delinquent come to the credit union, and we will set up something for them. Because when you would have gone delinquent, it's kind of difficult to set up anything for you.
Okay, I don't know if that was clear enough to remember.
Because
once
once no payment is coming, obviously you're going delinquent. And we could seldom do anything for you when you go delinquent. When if you came in prior to going delinquent, we can assist with that.
I have another question, and the question comes from another member, obviously, and I'm just going to read it. My question: is there any consideration to include persons that are of a religious persuasion and that cannot attend the AGM, like a special voters list?
No, we did not think about it, and clearly our bylaws don't make provisions for it. So it's something that we cannot practice unless we place it into the bylaws.
Yes.
Previously, we would have alternated the days of the AGM between Saturdays and Sunday to give those members who have observed their religious days on Saturday and some for Sunday. However, with the online, we chose this weekend really in particular to celebrate something else. But however, with all the lockdown and stuff like that, it had to be shelved. However, we would in future look to probably facilitate the online meeting during the week or even on a Sunday evening to facilitate those members who have those religious beliefs, right?
Thank you. Tisha Thompson, who asked the question earlier, says, thank you. Looking forward to that facility. Online bank. It is required now more than ever. And she had asked the question about if there'll be a facility in place soon so they could transfer money from the bank account to the credit union. So yes, we do recognize that that is, especially given the current climate, that is a must right now. We all have to work towards becoming more technologically proficient and using the tools that we have to be able to stay safe at a distance and still do everything that we need to be able to do. So I have Randolph that's asking a question, and this is a question. If I'm registered for an online banking, can I wait until after the AGM and request any amount for my FSC?
Yes, Randolph, you can use this facility going forward, even after the AGM, and request any amount of your funds from your FSC.
Randolph also asks, can retirees over the age of 60 come in on the first day of the dividend payment to receive their dividend?
We actually sent out a schedule that's attached with the notice indicating that there are cash payments. Disbursements will begin on June the 7th with an alphabetical order based on your surname. So Randolph, based on your surname, on that particular day as a retiree, you can come in and be served first based on your surname only. From the 7th of June, there's a specific order based on your alphabetical order of your last name.
And Mr. Selwyn Stroud asks to please say again where I can get the form to have my dividend transfer to my bank account.
Onto our website, TTFSCU.com. In Media Center, there's an area called our Forms Depository. You will see the ACH form in that area. You can download the form from there, complete it. You can sign it and email it back to us with a copy of your valid ID for verification purposes.
It's also on the YouTube channel. The videos are also on the YouTube channel in terms of how to access your bank. To do the same stuff that Geraldine was speaking about. So you could also access it on YouTube.
So at this point in time, I'm going to open it up for question and answer with regard to the credit committee and ask Mr. Winston Phillip, who's the chairman of the credit committee, and Ms. Lonnie Phillip, who's the secretary, to answer any questions that our members may have with regards to credit, or if you wish to say anything with regards to the credit committee's report. Mr. Phillip?
Yeah, well, the report is there. I will hope that anyone would ask question based on the credit report that was presented. But basically, I have no question really.
Okay. So we're asking our members, do we have any questions with regards to the credit committee report? Please say no. We have both the chairman of the committee and the secretary available at your disposal to answer any questions before the AGM. Now is your time, members. Any questions with regards to the brochure, the booklet, the contents of the booklet, please ask us. We're here to help. We're making ourselves available for you, our members, because we will remain committed to you, each and every member of the TTFSCU. So, okay, I have a question, and this is the question. What facility does the credit union have for equity mortgages where the property is not town and country approved?
Normally, the policy that exists, it has to be town and country approved to get the mortgage facility.
Okay.
And I think basically in all other jurisdictions outside of the credit union, I think this applies.
Okay. And another question, is a 2-month COVID waiver still available?
I think I'll leave that for the chairman to answer that question.
I think you would be well informed, Mr. Philip, on Tuesday. I think those documents are coming your way. Yes, there would be another COVID arrangement similar to last year, and that would take effect from Tuesday. I cannot say if this particular member would be able to get 2 waivers, but it would be done on an individual basis, on a case-by-case basis. But if once you are entitled to it, I don't know what Mr. Philip and they would offer to you, but more than likely from Tuesday morning, Sir Philip, we should be able to roll out those arrangements. Those documents are coming your way.
Correction to that, we're not sure Mr. Philip will be around there and then. So say,
Oh, well, I'm
the chairman, the chairman
the chairman of the credit committee would then deal with that. But Mr. Leach, I think you should come in here and
Let's say the secretary would be there.
That's correct.
Well, for sure, we know that the secretary will be there. So Lonnie, those documents will come to you on Tuesday morning.
Right. The Product and Service Committee has arranged and made it clear what would be going to the credit committee is that 2 waivers would be allowed per year. If you had 1 already, you'd only be able to get 1. If you had none,
and this,
then you'll be.
This will be done on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I have a question. Mr. Philip indicated nothing can be done if a member who retires goes delinquent, but what will happen next?
No, I don't think Mr. Philip said that.
In any case, you would have to come to sit with the credit committee to work out something. But what is ideal as he become a pensioner where he is not earning any income, he needs to come in before he goes delinquent. Because in any case,
before he goes,
whether he goes delinquent or not, we still have to treat with him. So it's ideal before he goes delinquent, once money is not coming, to come in and sit with the credit committee. We have worked it out in the past. We had a special product then, and we had to discontinue because some part it was illegal and stuff like that. But it's ideal, as I say again, for the member to come to the credit committee, sit with us, for us to understand his plight with no salary coming, something can be worked out before he goes delinquent.
Right, and I want to remind members that, in keeping with our mantra, our members matters most. We are aware of the situation with officers, and I'm saying, well, public servants retiring and not being in receipt of their pensions immediately. But please, please, coming before and let us have a discussion and treat with a way forward that doesn't put you in an embarrassing circumstance. And that is what Mr. Philip is allowing to come before you are delinquent, so we could treat with it to know what we can put in place exactly to treat with your situation until you are in receipt of your monies to satisfy your obligations.
There is a member that made a comment. As a founding member, I think that there should be some privilege granted to retirees.
We recognize all our members and especially our founding members. And the way that I know they treat founding and retirees, I am looking forward to retirement myself.
Okay, so I have a comment from a member. He says, I just want to congratulate the credit committee for their professionalism. Their frank, straightforward advice is well appreciated. And then I have 3 questions from it's the same question, but asked 3 different ways from 3 different members. Basically, they all have children who don't have email addresses, and they're asking if they can use their own email address to register them. But as far as, sorry, Mr. Media, saying something?
No.
Okay. So that came from 3 different members that are asking. And so one member says, my daughter has my email address and I'm not getting to register them. Another, I have 3 children who don't have email addresses. Can I use my own email address to register them? And another member, can I give a family member my online registration form to drop it in for me with my ID?
Yes, the family member can drop in the form for the member with a copy of the ID. We will accept it. And for those who do not have email addresses, unfortunately, for auditing purposes, we identify each particular member by their email address. And to have more than one person using that same email address, it's not proper transparency in terms of the voting aspect of it. So that is hence the reason why we're asking that a separate email address so we can identify each person and have the counts and the tallies and the votes accurately recorded. So unfortunately, each person must have their own identifier, which is their email address, to enter and register on the system as well as vote.
So we have something that's not AGM related, but I'm going to ask it as we have all committee members and directors and the president himself here on this forum. And of course, your great operations manager, who we're very grateful that you're on board with us. And the question is, I'm waiting on outstanding claims from group health plan since December 2020 and January 2021. Can you tell me what is the keepback?
Unfortunately, due to the fact that this is an external party that we are waiting to get this information from, we do have a bit of delay due to the pandemic and with the different external providers. What I can do, if we can get that member's name and contact information, we can do a follow-up to find out exactly if there's some delay with the claim and provide feedback on if something additional is required.
Well, I have the name, so I will gather the information and share it with you after.
Yes, thank you so much, and I will provide feedback.
Okay, great. So at this point in time, we're going to have the Q&A section for the Supervisory Committee. We have here Mr. Kyle Andrews, who's the chairman of the Supervisory Committee, as well as Mrs. Tanisha James Simon, who's the secretary. So we want to welcome both of you and to our Let's Talk virtually all things AGM, and we're asking our members that if you have any questions with regards to the supervisory report, please ask your questions at this point in time. Mr. Andrews, Mrs. James Simon, do you have any comments with regards to the report and the supervisory committee? Is there anything you'd wish to share at this point in time?
Yes, we do. First of all, good night, everyone.
We want to first ask that, members should spend some time reading the report. From experience, I realize that a lot of members don't really read the report. They don't really read the brochure. Remember that we are reporting to you. You are the boss of us. So the credit union belongs to you. So a lot of time and energy would have gone to produce a solid report so that you could understand what is taking place in your organization. And I think you should spend some time, taking a read of it, understanding what is happening, and come free to ask questions at the AGM, or even now if you send the questions before, that's even better. All right. So I just want to encourage members who haven't registered yet to register and come with your question. Anyone have any questions? Anything you want to add to it?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you're gonna have, if you're asking a question, you may have to unmute your mic. Mr. Phillips, sorry. So at this point in time, we're asking members if you have any questions for the supervisory committee. Now is your time to ask with regards to the report itself. Are there any questions? So we're just waiting to see if there are any questions for the supervisory committee. Members, again, we're here for you. Okay, I have a comment. I hope that all registered members get their tokens this year and not only those that can log on for the AGM.
Sorry to disappoint. You have to enter the meeting. You have to be part of the meeting to receive your token and not just register.
Any questions for the supervisory committee? We have the chairman here. We have the secretary here. And we're very grateful to have all members represented for each committee. I think that says a lot about the fact that us as a credit union, we're reaching out to our members and creating this forum for you to ask those questions prior to the AGM. And Mr. Andrews, you're absolutely right. Now is the time to ask the questions. Because yes, there are some members that don't read the report.
I would like also to encourage members, this is Tanisha James Simon speaking. I would like to encourage members to reach out to the supervisory committee. A lot of times things happen within the organization and it's after the fact the supervisory committee gets this information. And in order for us to work for you, we need to get the information firsthand. Our committee currently meets every week virtually. And we stop into the credit union, we can say once a week, to collect correspondence. So if there's any issues you all may be facing, feel free to write the supervisory committee and we will get in contact with you.
So members asking, what is the token this year?
Show it. Sean, you have it, that you could show it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, please do.
In the age of technology, the token is a three-way charger. So you can use it in your car, you can use it on your wall, and you also have two spaces for two charging ports. All right, so it's a three-way charger that everybody could find some use for. See fire first.
Okay, so Shelley Pear writes, I apologize for joining late, but couple members need information about debt. Well, I believe it's a debit card. Applications have been made since last year till now, and yet no response or no reply. Not sure who the question applies to.
Would take it in the interim, and then I think Jalen may help me to the end.
Yes, I was now going to take it.
All right, so go ahead, because it's more
Okay,
of an
so
operational matter.
yes, so I will admit we are having some service issues with our provider, which since my becoming part of the TTFSCU family, I have been addressing one by one. Yesterday, I got some feedback on some stuff that was outstanding. So I'm hoping that before the end of next week, all of the outstanding matters will be addressed. So can we again get this member's names? I will ensure that this was one of the lists, the concerns that I had that I brought forward to JMMB. And I will ensure again that I get feedback and provide feedback to the member.
Okay.
And apologies for the inconvenience that you are experiencing, because we are getting it as well too for all our members.
Okay, thank you.
But I must add here that it's not the credit union's fault. We are having a problem with JMMB, who is the provider, and we did have discussions with them, and they should be resolved shortly.
Thank you. So a member asked, okay, how to get a loan for a vehicle from the newspaper when you can get an invoice?
I'm not
Sorry.
as certain as to what they require there.
For a loan for a vehicle from the newspaper, meaning that it's a locally used vehicle that they want to purchase.
Oh, a used car.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
Mr. Philip, you want to take them through the process for a used vehicle? The member is asking about a used vehicle out of possibly, I believe, the classifieds.
You have to
Your mic
unmute
is
yourself
mute.
there.
You need to unmute your mic, Mr. Philip.
Can you help him, please? Mr. Philip, unmute your mic.
Mr. Philip.
Yeah.
Mute back.
So you would have muted back there. You need to unmute, Mr. Philip.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
All right. All right. Right. They are the basic requirement by way of a checklist for all vehicle loan. Right? And there are even different products based on the age of the vehicle. Okay? So that person needs to maybe contact the credit union. Let's get the certified copy of the vehicle. So we'll know the age, so we'll know what product we could best afford you to purchase a vehicle. But you can buy a vehicle from anywhere. The certified copy tells us who is the legit owner of the vehicle, which is most important in the purchasing of any vehicle. So yes, we do. And you could buy a vehicle from anywhere, but the main thing, the requirement needed, we have it there in a checklist for each of the loan product we have. So yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Philip. With regards to Geraldine, the person who had asked about the debit card, she was asking on behalf of other members, not herself. So
Okay.
ask all members, if you have any issues with regards to your debit card, to send your issues to memberrelations@ttfscu.com. Send an email, so that we will be able to assist you one-on-one. And there's a comment from a member, and the comment reads, recently I saw some disparaging remarks on social media about certain executive members. Is all well with the credit union?
I think I should let the supervisory chairman deal with this. I think I might have been the issue of some of those disparaging remarks, but I don't mind. I was placed here as the president to perform a role, and you would always have dissenting voices when you try to do things for the benefit of all. I think for the majority of the persons who would have received those WhatsApp messages would know, and perfectly I can say without any resolve that that is not me. They probably wanted to teach me about me, and I more or less, in a couple of days again, you may not have to deal with me. So I'm not worried at all over that, right? But thanks. I must say thanks to the goodly gentleman. I know who you are, and you would have taught me a lot. So I say thank you even to them for teaching me about me, things I didn't know about my integrity and stuff like that. But you may not and will not dissuade me from being a good person. After 50 years of being alive, I think I will continue in this vein because I'm a good person and you won't change me.
So I have a member asking, would the upcoming elections affect mortgages that have not been completed? If yes, how would it?
Not at all. Not at all. They will not know the business of the credit union would not be affected by the elections at all. I can confirm that.
Great.
I think I would like to comment a bit.
Okay, so
yes, with regards to the question that would have arisen before, with regards to the social media comment, I would just like to say as a supervisory committee, we did take note of it. We also received a letter of complaint and also a bit of uncertainty with a lot of members reaching or individual members and having conversations with them. So we felt it necessary to even look into the matter a little further. And we did somewhat start making just a little inquiry just into the matter. And however, we could see without a doubt that, all is well and that members don't have to worry, that the credit union is in good standing. Okay?
Thank you. We have a question. With the COVID waiver of 2 months, would the interest be added in excess to what is being paid at present on loans?
Dalit?
I don't know if Mr. Philip wants to answer.
Could you repeat the question, Anika?
I'm sorry, my apologies. With the COVID waiver of 2 months, would interest be added in excess to what is being paid at present on loans?
I don't think we would have ever charged excess interest, Mr. Philip and Mr. Leach. Help me here. I don't think we would have ever charged excess interest when we would have issued a waiver of any type. So I would have to say no.
Mr.
But
Chair,
your mic is mute, Mr. Philip.
Mr. Chair,
Yes?
the new dispensation of the COVID waiver, well, the facility offers that the interest will be paid on the loan, the interest towards the loan will be paid, and
what would be paid is the
yes, what the principal
loan payment.
yes.
Right. I'm being informed, and I think we did discuss that last night. In the new dispensation of the COVID waivers, the interest will be paid, and what would be returned to the member is the actual loan payment minus the interest. So yes, you would have to pay the interest this time. I think on the last occasion, it was not the case of the interest. I think they got the whole thing. Mr. Philip?
Yeah, as far as I know, when you get a waiver of payment, if you get a 1 month waiver, that means if your loan was initially 48 months, it now 49 months. Because a payment that you were supposed to have made was not made. So it has no added interest or anything like that. There's no added interest if you get a waiver. So if you take a waiver now, no payment come. That means your loan stay as is. When the payment comes the other month, it clears what should have been cleared last month.
Okay.
So there's no added interest for waiver.
Okay.
Like the bank, I think they have some penalties if you get a waiver in the bank, there's penalties. We don't have that. As far as I know.
That's one of the benefits of bringing your business to the credit union and not taking it to a bank.
Say it a little louder.
You hearing me?
Say it louder. Say it louder. Then.
Oh yeah, that's
what you meant is preach it to the hills so that they will understand.
Those are the benefits of being with a credit union, and that's why members will always matter most, because it's not about the profits, but it's about helping the membership. So I have a question from another member. Good night. How are dividends calculated?
And I think I have the treasurer on to help me with that magical calculation.
That easy one.
Wesley?
Yeah. But the dividends are calculated on a prorated basis for the entire year. It's as simple as that. So I don't know.
And it's based on the undivided surplus also too, not so?
Yes, well, I'm thinking that the member wants to know in terms of how much they're going to get, how that calculated.
Well,
but it is based, yeah, but it's based on the undivided, on the surplus.
Yeah.
That's how we come up with the overall figure, but your personal dividends is on a prorated basis.
I can help with explaining the calculation to members. So generally, if you want to calculate your dividends, what you need to do is to basically look at the percentage that it's paid. Well, subject to approval at the AGM, it's supposed to be 5.15%. Right. So what you do is that you look at your balance every month, multiply that balance by 5.15, divide it by 100, and then multiply by 1/12. Do that for every single month from January to December, and you will get pretty closely the actual figure that your dividends is going to be. So just take it, you can do it in an Excel sheet, drop it down, and do it, your balance at the end of the month, multiply by 5.15, divide by 100, multiply by 1/12 for every month until you go right on to December, and you should be very close, within a few cents of your actual figure for your dividends.
Yeah. That's the balance at the end of every month.
Yes,
well, for the layperson,
you should take into consideration to do the part that's going to be sent to your, to get more technical, what's going to be sent to your shares and all of that, but just the overall, yeah. So that's it.
Right. For the lame person like myself and many of my poor friends, what I usually do and tell my friends, in the month of January, the shareholdings you would have had, right? Hold on to the shareholding you would have had, do the calculation of the dividends that is realized, and you're sure you'll be inside knowing what dividends you're going to get. It could only be higher, because you start January with $5 and you remain 5. At December, when we're doing the report for the year and they give 5%, you're sure you're well within what you'll get. You'll get more surety because you'll have
over.
You'll have added shares monthly. So that will make it more. That's the way I did it. It did work.
Yeah, well, I guess with that kind of calculation, Mr. Phillips, you can't go wrong.
That's it.
It's
So
about
that is a
averaging.
recursive formula that works out for each year going forward.
Okay, so I have another question. This is from Natasha, and I hope that I'm asking the question as you put it into the chat. The question, as it's put into the chat, reads: is everyone liable for the COVID waiver of 2 months. So I'm interpreting it as is every member, will they be viable for this 2 month waiver?
Once you're not delinquent, I think you are.
Yes, sir, at 60%.
And the other criteria is being met, but the main one is being not being delinquent.
Right. What I could say on that, basically, there are criteria for the COVID arrangement, and it's going to be applied on an individual basis, case by case, on the criteria as set by the products and services and to be implemented by the credit committee on Tuesday. So I would want to say blanketly, yes, everybody could be entitled, but I don't think everybody may get it because there are criteria to be fulfilled for the implementation, for the issuing of that loan.
Okay.
Moderator, I would like to read the next statement or comment coming from the member, which is addressed to you, the moderator. And this comes from Ms. Roxanne Lewis in Tobago. The moderator is very professional. I hope that the credit union will continue to keep our services. And we do appreciate our moderator, Mrs. Alia. So thank you very much for that observation, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you very much too. I appreciate it. And I am TTFSCU, and I will always be TTFSCU. So it is what it is with me. And I appreciate it again. So Siobhan gave another version of how to calculate the dividends. So she says it is calculated shares at the beginning of January and at the ending of January, and the balance of every month thereof till November divided by 12 and multiplied by the percentage being paid. So that's
we have some mathematicians. We have some mathematicians here. Great job. Great job, Siobhan.
Yes, thank you so much. So we also do, for the members watching, we have the head of the nominations committee, Mr. Garvin Vincent, present, the chairman. If you have any questions with regards to the nomination committee or with the education committee report, now is the time as well to ask any questions with regards to the brochure. Again, the brochure is available online. We've also sent out several mailers which allow you direct access to the brochure itself. And if you go to the TTFSCU.com, you go to, I'm just gonna pull it up so everyone, and share my screen so everyone can see what I'm referring to. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen at this point in time so everyone can see how to access the brochure. So from here, you're on TTFSCU.com. You go to the media center. Right here, you see the drop down annual reports. Click on annual reports, and the 2020 annual report is there. Click it, and voila. The entire report is there from beginning. I know I'm scrolling quickly to end. So please familiarize yourself with the report prior to Saturday's meeting. So at this point in time, I'm going to ask members, do you have any questions? I do have a question here, and I'm going to read it. Good night. I presently have a loan at another bank. Would the TTFSCU consider bringing over that loan? If so, what would be the process to do so?
Philip, you need to unmute again.
Take the phone from by your nose.
So Philip, your mic is mute. We will not hear it.
Yes. Please unmute your mic.
Mute Mr. Philip.
Lonnie, I think you
Are
may
you
have to
hearing me?
help us here.
Yes, we're
Are
here.
you
Yes,
right?
we're
Yes.
Okay. All the member has to do, go to the institution where they have the loan, get a settlement figure, bring it to the credit union, and apply for the loan as a debt consolidation. And as many loans that person may have out there, we ask them to bring it by fire credit union, and we will try and assist with consolidation loan we presently have that is working quite well. So that's all the member need to do. All the other criteria for a loan is applicable, but mainly they must get the settlement figure from that institution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Phillip. We have another question. Can the interest on mortgages be lowered than the current 5%?
That the board will have to speak to. Though what I know exists out there, I don't know. The board will speak to that. Because as far as I know, with the existing loan on the external environment of our place, we have a good interest rate.
But
So
if not one of the best, Mr. Phillip,
I was hoping you said that. I didn't want to say for you.
We have the best interest rate in the market. And what I could say to our members, and they need to check it, is that our rate will not move from 5%.
Right. And
that
we need to further inform members that our rates is stationary. It goes nowhere. There are mortgages all of us know about where it keeps going up and going up and going up. The advantage I think we have, it is fixed. So when you get an increase in salary, you get a promotion, your mortgage payment remain the same unless you go and over your mortgage.
Right, but more than that, it still will remain, even if we refinance it, it would be at 5%. And I'm saying to our members, our product is new, it is really superior. I would like you to compare and come back, and I'm sure you will tell me that is too low of a rate. But you see, our members matters most. And we were prepared to give you a mortgage at 5% up to the age of 870. No other mortgage provider possibly in the world would offer you a provision as that. And if you find it, then probably we could carry down your interest rate to 2.5%. Mr. Phillip, if they find anybody giving less than 5% up to 870. Probably something like those other appliance stores that say if you find a better price than mine, I pay it.
I will beat it.
It's the best in the market.
No. It was designed with our members in mind, and to even give our late starters, because we know, especially for people in the services, they retire at age 55 and 60, and still to give them a chance of realizing the dream of owning their own homes, right? And that was the foundation of setting up these measures. 5%, the age 70, so that gives you possibly between 20 to 35 years to do your mortgage arrangements. And now we would have bring on Janelle Adkuna to help us pay for it. And I think it would now become an even more superior product. Right? We are having the banks challenging people who we have taken over mortgages from. And they now offering them 5% and less. Right? So I think it is indeed the innovation of the board at the time and the credit union in really seeing about its members. Because again, I must impress on you that members matters most to us.
Mr. President, we have a question from Joseph Moore, and he says, Joseph Moore again, what is the hold up with the mortgage loan presently? I don't know if that's an individual situation.
But again, for those members who are having difficulty with their mortgage, please get in contact with the general manager, Mr. Kerwin Jacobs, and he will take it from there.
Thank you. Another member asked, can I put lump sums on the principal of a mortgage loan? Should I repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am.
The member asked, can I put lump sums on the principal of a mortgage loan?
I think the arrangements for mortgages are fixed, but the member could come in and speak with our credit manager to see if there's a possibility of this. I cannot answer in the affirmative because I am not as certain as if those provisions are in place.
Okay. Another
Monica, one thing before you go on, I took the member's name, so we will get the information and we'll get in contact with him and provide that to him instead of him having to try and reach us. I took his name, Mr. Joseph Moore, and we'll get back to you. But I must also impress that we don't have any penalties for early repayment of mortgage, right?
Okay. All right, so a member asks, what is the criteria used to come up with the 5% on mortgages? Can it be lowered than the current rate for renovations, first-time home owners and equity?
The mortgage product was designed after years of deliberations. The members, you need to come in and discuss your arrangements with our credit department, and they would work out the best product package for you in this instance. I know that we have products for renovation and our mortgage is designed for first-time home owners especially, but there are some arrangements that can be made for renovations and stuff like that. I think up to the limit of 700,000, Mr. Phillips. So there are varying arrangements that can be made to treat with your issues, but you need to come in and get them out to our credit department, who would certainly treat with them.
Okay. We have a comment from Mr. Kofi McIntyre. He writes, my recommendation is that in the future, the chairman of the nomination should not be a member of the board whose term of service has not expired, but rather a board member whose term is statute barred.
Yes, it can be considered. I know one of the questions that was asked previously is why we have board members as the chairperson of the nomination committee. I think by practice and by policy, the chairpersons of all our committees established and ad hoc are board members. I know for certain that no board member that is going up for election would be placed as the chairperson of the nomination committee. But I take your recommendation, Mr. McIntyre, and I have taken note of it. And certainly the board could act on that. It is plausible that the chairperson of that committee could be outgoing, so he has no stake in it.
Okay. Joseph Moore, just to share with you, Ms. Nicholson, Charles, I know that you're looking and responding as well on the chat. He appreciates the fact that you're going to get in contact with him, but he's been trying his best to contact everyone at the credit union.
That's why I indicated I will contact him rather than having him trying to contact us, right, and put him through that. So we will contact you tomorrow when we have information about mortgages and lump sum placed on principal. Okay.
I have another comment and a question. How would you deal with the purchase of government land via the credit union if you cannot provide some of the documents required for the approval of the loan since it's government land?
All our loans have processes and documents especially, and I think he person might be speaking to the lease or the deed. Um, if we are going to expend the cooperative's money on something, there must be evidence that you are indeed the leaseholder or the deed holder of the land, and that you are not presenting somebody else's land, even if it belongs to the state. There must be documents saying that you have charge of the land before we could proceed with that. And those are that is the policy.
Okay. All right. With regards to, this is another question. There is a comment, sorry, a question. There is a need to support Mrs. Goodrich at the mortgage section. Could that be expedited?
Yes, Mr. Jacobs, the GM, has been tasked to treat with that. And I think in short order, there are going to be arrangements to deal especially with the credit department in terms of mortgages.
Okay, there's another comment and question. I saw several ads for land for sale in Tobago, but I've never been able to get any information about it. Can you give me some brief information on that?
Yes, for sure. The credit union would have purchased 20 lots at Backlet, Tobago, out of a project called, I think it's Inez, the Inez project in Backlet in Tobago. And this information is not up on the site, Anika and Jillian, this is on the site.
It's also been sent via mailer, so I will just have to check with you, Marvin, to see how come you're not receiving the emails that we would have sent. Because we sent several emails actually detailing what is required,
Okay.
down and so on.
But as it stands, we would have purchased 20 lots in Tobago. I think it's also in the brochure, and the information is on the site. And please, if you provide your email, the information would be sent to you.
Yes. Okay, we have a question. Is the finance manager still the president of Han Arnold Credit Union?
No, she's not. She would have been told that she would have to resign from that position.
Okay, we would like to wrap up all things AGM at this point in time. Members, do you have any last questions you would like to ask both the president and chairman of all committees, as well as committee representatives? We are asking you at this point in time to ask before we ask our president and the chairman of all committees to close this evening.
Madam Moderator, Mr. Masalion, I see Ms. Lewis indicating that directors are placed on all committees for reporting purposes to the board. And she was quite clear on that. Just 3 things before we go. Those persons who indicated that they have issues registering their children, which are Ms. Candice Alexander, Ms. Alana Ramuta, and Mikhail Ramuta, try getting email addresses for your children and registering. Call us in the morning to let us know if you got through, and we will walk you through the steps. We will do an exception for you. Since we know you've been trying, we'll do an exception for you in registering, because registration is supposed to close off tonight, so we could do all the reporting and stuff for tomorrow. But these 3 people, Candice Alexander, Alana Ramuta, and Mikhail Ramuta, try doing emails for your children and try the registration process again. Let us know if you get through. I want to put on this forum that the representative of CUNA would have supplied a very nice hamper to the Fire Service Credit Union. And this hamper, it will not be raffled, but there would be a video played on the day and a question is going to be asked. And members would have the opportunity to answer this question for a chance to get this hamper. So thank you, Ms. Jonelle Williams and company from CUNA, from the Fire Service Credit Union. And all questions that were placed or that were asked when members registered for the AGM, most of them, I have to say most because some weren't questions, they were like comments, they would be answered and placed on the resource section of the website that all members would have access to it. So even if you didn't have a question, the questions that all members would have asked would have been available and there for all members to view the questions that other members have. So we don't have to go through all that on Saturdays. So the questions are there for everybody to see the answers. And again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your support and all that you do to ensure that this organization runs well. Thank you so much.
We have a few more questions and comments. Going back to the finance manager, the question is, would she have resigned or did she already resign? Would have to or did she already? She did.
I think I treated with that matter, and I'm pleased the matter is dealt with. She is to resign if she hasn't done it already. She will.
She resigned. She resigned some time ago.
Right. So she did resign, and that is what it is.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Otley asks, good evening, everyone. In light of the ability to now have multiple sections on member accounts, is there any plan to include a business account section for members with registered businesses?
I think Mr. Leach and Products and Services, we have to give us some guidance on that. We may have to do some research on it because there was an issue with business accounts and the commingling of funds that we are presently treating with. We are waiting some legal guidance on it. And I would say not before.
From the FIU.
Right, so as soon as we receive the directions on that, we would send it out to members to treat with that aspect, especially.
Mr. Chair, just checking my email, checking my emails during this forum, and I realized that we did just get a response from the Commissioner's office where I would have written them earlier on, asking them for advice on the commingling of funds, business and personal funds, and they indicated as such, it could be done. It could be done.
Right. Then that is the first hurdle. I think we did inquire of Inland Revenue as well, Mr. Leach. I think we are waiting that. Yeah. We just want to make sure that all our concerns are answered before we attempt to do something that turns out to be non-compliant or illegal. But I am hoping that we can, and as soon as we can, we will.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Marvin also would like to commend the CSRs at the Port of Spain branch for their excellent customer service. So I have to read that. And another member is asking, will there be any early bird prizes?
Secretariat?
No, we didn't plan any, but
right. So I'm hoping that everybody would be early, and we are starting from 12.
Early bird may be your dividends.
Rachel is asking, what about the cards for members that didn't receive any? Rachel, I'd like to ask you to please send an email to memberrelations@ttfscu.com so we can get to the bottom of the issue that you're having with regards to your debit cards. There are a couple of comments. Thanks for the service, Sharon and the rest of the team. Well done, FSCU. Well done, folks. Blessed night. It is good to hear that this is moving in the right direction. So I'm reading all of these comments and thanking all of the president, secretariat, directors, and members of various committees, chair of persons and secretaries of the various committees, to thank you all for attending tonight and to be so receptive to the questions that the members have been asking. Mr. President, I'd like to ask you to close tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Members, directors, all. I would just like to remind that to still inform that we are in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are also in the height of our SOE, which is expected to go for the next 3 months. I want to implore upon you to be safe. I know it requires a little more patience. I ask you to be kind to one another. And by God's good grace, just as all other things, we are going to get through this together. I want to remind you that your credit union is strong, and we stand not only in the wings, but we're there waiting to deal and treat with your needs, especially. I ask you to see fire first. Don't be strangers. You are the owners of this grand organization. And I must say to you, I am as proud to be a member here. And I really thank you for the opportunity for serving you as president over the years. Again, I ask you to be safe. And by God's good grace, we would congregate sometime in the future again.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say to the membership, good night. Thank you for participating in our Let's Talk. And we'll see you again really soon. Good night, members. Good night, panel.
Night, 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 night.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Same to you.
Bye.
God bless and safe one.